Welcome back everybody, it's DestinysJesus here. In this video, we're going to be looking at 3 levels of high kills in solos. This is basically going to be breaking down how to consistently get high kills, some tips and tricks in terms of rotates that you can do, what POIs you should be landing at, and also most importantly at the moment with a 4 shotgun meta, what is the best for getting high kills in solos. For the players, I'm going to be using myself as an example, 4.5k earnings. I have quit comp for a while, so I'm not really that good anymore. And we're looking at how I was able to get 24 kills in the Pele Cup Opens. And then also we're going to look at TTO Patch for our semi-pro player. He's got $800 in earnings and he's an up-and-coming comp player and he's got really good potential and he got 25 kills in his game. Now for our pro player, we of course have to use cool Aqua. I think he got top 10 overall in this tournament and he only got that in 4 games. This is absolutely ridiculous how he's able to do this. He got a 22 kill win, a 25 kill win, and then in the highest elo possible, he got 30 kill win. So he's not just W-king bad players, he got 30 kill win versus other good players, and there were several pro players that he killed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and make sure to leave a like if you did, and this will help you guys get high kills in either Arena or any of the solo Saturdays that are coming out soon. So for the beginner player in this video, I'm actually going to be using myself as an example, mainly because I haven't been playing comp for a while, and I thought I'd be the perfect fit for this since I got a 24 kill win. So what we're going to be looking at in this game is our drop spot, and then also what we're actually going to be doing in terms of guns mid game. So my drop spot of course has to be Sweaty Sands. The reason I go Sweaty, especially if I'm trying to get a high kill win, is because I have immediate rotate potential with bounty system, and also I can go straight to tilted and third party. Normally I high glide and land over towards the west side, but because of the fact that I'm high gliding, it gives me a load of different options of where to land. I can either land at these south triple houses, I can land in the middle building and then go to pier, or I can land at the far west like I normally do. In this game, I had the whole hotel area completely for free, so I was basically chilling. So after I loot a hotel, I immediately just push over into Sweaty and I try to get in the fights as quick as possible. Depending on where you're landing, you obviously can play around for third parties, but I prefer to just get straight stuck in the fight, especially at low elo, so you can get all of the kills guaranteed. For our semi-pro player with $800 earnings, his TTO Patch, he's actually landing at Colosseum. Colosseum is a really interesting choice for a drop spot to get high kill solos, mainly because of the fact that you're not likely to be contested by multiple people. You're only going to get contested by 2 to 3 people, which means that you're going to more consistently win it off spawn if you're trying to find consistent gameplay, as long as you know the spot pretty well, obviously. Also, the really nice benefit of this whole area is the fact that you get so much movement potential in this entire area. You can use all of the crystals, sand tunneling is back, you can easily scour people from a long distance away just by trying to look for third parties or people build fighting, because the whole area is pretty flat. And also what's really nice in this area is the fact that you have a very easy rotatable place to go to get a bounty. So you can easily rotate to this building to get a bounty, and also the fact that you're just going to be able to find so many people because of the sight lines around Colosseum. So you can see here, instantly catches a free key on a player trying to get in the sand, and then is basically just able to collapse that all into so many elims in the early game. About 10 elims in the early game off spawn, just because of the fact that he's just going around finding people that are rotating around the sand or in the desert area using bounties as well to find elims. One thing to keep in mind whenever you're landing at a POI is how quickly you can get a bounty on people that are near you, and also where the most likely bounty is. Let's say if you're landing at Sweaty Sands and you're trying to find a bounty, oftentimes the bounty, if you're this player and you've won Sweaty Sands already, will lock onto the player over here. And obviously you have to go your whole way out to rotate to these players. You're not going to have the best chance at keying people because you're not going to be on the edge of zone. Always keep in mind where the bounties are going to lock onto, and if that's going to lead you into more fights mid-game through other W key options. Just a quick ad for you guys who are currently watching the video and enjoying it. I just uploaded a new video on my box fighting masterclass on a load of different box fight exploits. I was doing these in the actual tournament that I was playing in, and it led me to getting a load of free elims, since most people don't expect these kind of strategies in tournaments. If you want to go ahead and save $5 in the overall price of the masterclass, just use code YouTube when you're there, and you can go ahead and see some of these exploits are free, and they're so broken for solos, and there's a couple of things in there that are exclusive for trios that will get you refreshes really easily as well. So as we come into our pro player Aqua, we've got to look at what his off spawn drop is like. He's landing at Salty Towers, of course, to try to get the highest elim win possible, and also just note the fact that he's not doing a really insane drop. He's actually quite split from the other players that are landing in this area, and what that means is he avoids this massive 50-50 that happens on this main roof, as well as all the skirmishes that happen in and around that building. Instead, what he can do is scout, get a whole load of information on what buildings are getting contested, and he gets the building completely for free in the middle of tilted. Able to easily get a shotgun, get a load of mats and an extra shotgun that he likes out of this chest, and then he's able to rotate into a congested building that's got a lot of players already fighting in it, and get some free elims on spawn after finding some shield. One quick note is whenever you're chasing a player into one of these toilets, if you tag them as they jump in, then eventually just pop out at the end. So Aqua gets a free pop out and he's able to get the guy an elim in straight away after here. One thing you can note is also the fact that he dropped a lever action shotgun for attack or spawn, mainly because it's way more shotgun capacity in terms of shells, and you can fight people a lot quicker and concisely and end the fights a lot quicker as well, which is very important when it comes to off spawn fights. As you can see here, it just takes a bunch of angels versus different people in the off spawn fight. comes around, gets piece control on the guy in the box, and he's confident in winning this aim duel versus this other player, mainly because he has that tack versus somebody swapping to an AR after they shoot their lever. So the first thing that I'm doing when it comes to actually W King is trying to find people in the desert area, mainly because you can crystal and just find people with a really open sightlines. Another thing here is whenever you get hit low in a fight, try to carry some sort of quick kill whenever you're W King, rather than just having to rely on minis. Minis are really easy to counterplay. Everybody normally fights with minis, so if you can carry slurp fish or can I carry some slurp mushroom, would work really well in these type of situations, so you can instantly peek your opponent. He hits me 80, now I hit him 40. I pop 2 slurp fish. As he drops down while we're spraying it like you should, I'm able to instantly counter peek him and get a safe tag off. From here, realize he's missing this piece control on the front wall, so I go ahead and place that front wall immediately, then get the cone side, and then result into an aim duel. The best play at this point is to invest your movement into ending the fight as quick as possible. Either you catch him off guard, or you're able to close the gap and immediately stop him from healing up himself, and then finish the fight as quick as possible. You don't want to take too long in every single fight. Always try to invest the majority of things into ending the fight without getting third parties, especially in these open areas mid-map like where I'm fighting at now. This is a perfect example of a fight and how to use the lever action shotgun from the semi-pro player here when he's using it in-game. First of all, how he sets up with a side jump, gets onto this guy's wall from the right hand peak. He can also go ahead when he's going for the wall place. He's just placing a cone over the guy's box. Just literally look around this kind of area here and it will snap over and go above the guy's floor and kind of trap him in. From here, he sets up a right hand shoulder of replace where he's basically going for a pickaxe replace, and then instantly there you can see as soon as the guy resets the wall and it's low HP, he shoots it with his AR, takes it, opens a nice wide edit where he's got the right hand peak advantage. The guy makes the mistake of trying to edit his cone and then go upwards in the same motion. Whenever you see somebody trying to go for an edit upwards, just make sure you shoot by that cone instantly. Uses his AR so he does it from a further distance away, drops the guy in, and then gets a very freedom. You have to be very mindful of what your opponent has whenever you're approaching their box. In this situation, the guy had attack, so all those angles that Patch took were really perfect to out-trade the guy and also just kill him quite quickly as well. So for mid-game fights, what shotgun does Aqua prefer? It has to be the purple tack for his case, mainly because his playstyle involves on just getting around in boxes. So after he gets his damage on his opponent, gets the immediate soft aim double dink on the guy from a distance, and he gets the full box from down below. If you don't know that technique, you just need to snap a cone over, then he gets all of the walls on the other guy. The good thing with the purple tack and why he prefers it so much over any other type of shotgun, even the gold lever or anything like that, which is you left behind already in this game, is the fact that you can do plays like this. He immediately gets to the close wall on the guy just by looking down, recognizes the fact that the wall on the side is open, so he takes that with his own build, slides in the cone at the same time, and then commits into the AR. Now, as we go into this next fight, what you're going to see is the fact that he gets beamed from behind, and what he does instantly is just go for a mini straight away. He doesn't want to waste any time trying to full box or make space, just instantly pops his minis, and this allows him to immediately go on the offensive versus his other player. Goes for a counter peek, comes upwards and gets a shot in. This is a really nice piece of control. He could have got that wall there if he was a little bit more full forward. But as he comes around from the top, he knows he has a purple tag and he has this massive advantage where the other player is trying to pop minis because he got an 80 tag off. So what does he do? Immediately sprays in from the top, places a stair, edits it instantaneously so he can get a shot off, gets the shot, then he forces a cone in. Very important whenever you're trying to in these close box fight situations that your opponent isn't going to be instantly coning themselves as they make space. So if you get a shot on them, try to place your own cone, just instantly press your bind and you'll be able to get a cone in their box just like he did here. It's a pretty simple matter of just the fact that the wall is 1 HP, he's turned around and reset it. So Aqua jumps in, it uses the momentum of the stair just by doing the sideways kind of meteor exploit into the box. Then he swaps to his AR and wins the fight. For W King, I do think that the tack, either the blue tack or any of the purple or gold ones, is probably the best thing for W King in solos. Mainly because of the fact that you have 8 bullets to spare, so you can basically just pressure walls, you can go for wall takes like I'm doing here. You can also jump into the box without having to worry about missing a single shot, and it's a lot more consistent in terms of damage compared to the lever or the charge, which can be hit or miss. It also doesn't have the big reload time that the Dragon's Breath has, which is probably the main issue of that gun, is you can easily die if you waste your shot too quickly. The one playstyle you want to have attack is always never trying to commit into a box until you at least get like 100 plus damage on your opponent, so you don't risk getting too tacked yourself. So in this situation, I miss a couple shots when I'm here. I get the double edit from above. Notice how I don't immediately jump in because I don't know this guy's HP. He could be 200, he could be 10 HP. I don't immediately just jump in. I go for these safe right hand peeks from above. Now after I've got that crack damage, and I know he's still in there trying to challenge me, as you can see here, then I just commit into the fight and win the aim duel after I've got that HP advantage. Always make sure you've got HP advantage before you jump into box to attack, and you'll 100% out damage and kill people more consistently. Now let's go ahead and see what our mid-tier player in the semi-pro category is using for his shotgun. He's actually decided to use a gold lever for these games when he's actually W-king, and this shotgun is really effective if you can use it in the correct situations. You need to avoid taking very long trade angles where a charge will outdamage you, and you also need to make sure that you're mindful of somebody where you get in their box and you get outdamaged by attack or a dragon's breath. What it does here is a perfect example of how to use a lever. It's just playing those long range angles, taking a little bit of chip damage, and then you can come into the shot. And obviously the gold one is an insane amount of damage. Also shows a nice technique after he misses the snipe here, where he basically backwards ramps to use a bouncer that's placed upwards. It's pretty useful if you're ever just trying to get towards somebody, like in this situation, or you're using it for a rotate. Now when it comes to moving zones, Aqua being Aqua is obviously on height, and how does he maintain this? Mainly it's the fact that he's got good awareness of realizing where players are, and also the fact that he's always using bouncers to try to get to front side and save his mats. So here zone's pressuring him from behind, he's just trying to AR tag people, simply bounces and reconnects towards where second high ground is, then he can look back and get easy elims on other players rotating with bouncers. Bouncers, if you use them correctly, are one of the best ways to rotate, but if you use them incorrectly and there's a player looking at you and they've got line of sight, you will get beamed, and it's a very free elim for the other player if they do their scav ops and do their aim training. So from here, it's a pretty simple win for Aqua. Honestly, he just sits on high ground, recycles bounces over and over, and is able to keep getting elims on other players just by jumping in the boxes and getting several kills just like this. That was all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and a couple new tips and tricks on how to get high kill solo games. Obviously all of these were from the Pele account where the game's a little bit more stacked than Arena, but the tips will still apply over for you guys who are looking to get better and get better just trying to keep people. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and also subscribe if you're new and not currently subscribed.